everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today, friends, we are going to be working on another Project Life spread for week 18 of 2025. So this is kind of the opposite of last week's Project Life spread where I didn't really have very many photos. I did a lot of screenshots and things like that, like from my phone. This week, I have almost too many pictures. So it seems like that happens sometimes. You know, one week is quite boring, maybe not a lot's going on. You just kind of have your regular week, your regular routine. And then the next one, you're super busy and everything happens at one time. So that's what's going on for me this week. So I have all of my photos here basically in place, but you're going to see a lot of other pictures kind of around the spread where I'm trying to figure out where I can fit things and kind of how to make it all flow. And the cards that I pulled out right now are from my pocket card stash. I have them organized into themes, and I grabbed out the birthday little pack of cards that I have that are, collected from over time. So I know a couple of them are Ellie Studio, the one at the bottom that says a day to celebrate, the actual celebrate card. That one's from Ellie Studio, and it's perfect for documenting like the who, what, when, where of birthdays. Then I think the candle card at the top is also from Ellie Studio, and the cake is probably from Studio Calico or somewhere like that. So then I have a couple blank spots. It takes me a minute to get things into place because when I have a lot of photos, I like to have a mix of things like my album photo there, my flower photo, and then also people. I don't like it to just be all pictures of people or all selfies. I like to kind of mix it up. So that's my issue right now. So for instance, this is a picture of me, Will, and Penny that I just cut out. Well, I printed it off as a 4x6, but then I quickly realized I didn't really want to add a big 4x6 on here. So I printed off smaller, and I'm hoping that I can kind of make that work as we go. So I'm always trying to work on the flow and just what I think looks good. I like to have a balance of cards and photos and, all the things, journaling, all of that. So at this point, I've decided to add another picture there at the bottom, and then you'll notice I'm starting to put a couple photos into these little Simple Stories photo flips. So I just get these off of Amazon, and I'll link them below if you want to grab any, but these are just the 3x4 version. And so I just end up adding a few extra photos inside of those photo flips, and they're super helpful if you want to kind of hide a few things like photos or like additional journaling or anything like that. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear drinking in the background. Poppy is drinking out of the water bowl, and she's a little loud. I'm not sure if it's going to pick up or not, but we're just going to trudge right through. So at this point, I have basically everything into place. I'm just kind of looking through my cards and trying to find cards that will go behind the photo flip. So you'll kind of see what I'm talking about as I go. But as I'm looking for the card and starting to put things into place, I will kind of tell you about my week as well. So yeah, I had a pretty busy week. It was filled with lots of birthday celebrations. So really early in the week, me and my mom were able to meet up with my best friend Casey and her girls, and we went to the zoo, which was really fun. Now you will notice there's no zoo pictures here, and that's because those were some of the photos that were on the outside, but I ended up deciding that I'm going to put those in an insert, and we're going to work on that later this week. I'm going to come back with a little video, and we're going to work on that and another insert that I need to do. So stay tuned for that. But we did do that early in the week. Then in the middle of the week, the last day of April, we celebrated Penny's 8th birthday. So that was really fun. I made her favorite food. We had toys and balls. She loves a good ball. We had toys and balls and some little cookies, and we partied with Poppy, and we got to kind of have our little moment there before Will left for work. So it was a really nice, small celebration at home. And then at the very end of the week, I was able to also celebrate with Casey and her family. It was Mickey's first birthday. So that was really exciting. So then between all of that, I was working so hard to get Casey's family albums done. So some of y'all might know that I gift Casey a family album, 2 12x12 albums every year since Andy was born in 2021. So I've been gifting her her family album. So she'll do a shared photo album with me on our phones, and then I will edit those photos and print them and create the albums for her. So I just did pocket pages this year, no layouts, but I got it all done, and it was actually for like I'm a year behind right now. So I have plans to really work to get that next year done. But anyways, I could talk about that for a while. But the point is, I worked really hard this week. I mean, a couple super long days, like 6 in the morning, and didn't stop working on it practically all day long, like a full work day to get those albums done. But I did finish them, and I was able to gift them to Casey for Mickey's first birthday, and that felt amazing to have that done. So that is what one of my pictures is of as well. The pictures of the albums there, the 3x4, that's just a picture of the completed albums. So of course I had to commemorate that. And then I just picked up some flowers whenever we were out shopping. So I always like to take pictures of the flowers and add those into my album. So I have that there as well. So I think I covered all of the photos. So just one of those big, busy weeks filled with all kinds of fun things. So I love the picture of Penny that I took. I got a couple of them, and I just had the table decorated. I actually also had I don't have the picture here, but I had like banners up that said it's potty time, and had like balls and bones and stuff on these really cute little banners. So I had those behind her. But she was a great sport, sat in the chair for me. She has a little party hat on, and she let me take pictures of her. So I was really excited about that. So I love all of the kind of consistency of the party theme for the week, since we happen to have 2 parties going on. So now I'm kind of getting into the embellishing portion. So I adhered these 2 cards together. As you saw, I adhered all of my 3x4 cards down side by side, as I always do, to create 4x6 cards to pop them into my pockets. And so I just add them on regular white computer paper. So here I have 2 3x4 cards. So you can always do that if you don't have a 4x6 card that works. A lot of times I'll just adhere 2 3x4 cards together, or I'll use maybe 1 card and a photo and adhere those together. You know, it doesn't always have to be a 4x6 card, of course. So here I just am pulling out random alphas out of my stash. I just have like a nice little amount of these like smaller ones. So these are the Color Theory that are from Studio Calico. These probably came like in a kit or something, and I've never used them. So I just grabbed those out to spell week. And then I had some little hearts that are super old. I don't even really know where those are from at this point. And then the 18 was also just remnants off of a random alpha set where there happened to be an 8. And then I cut, I think, a T to create that 1. So that worked. Then I'm going to add on my date stamps, of course. And then mostly I just have to add on journaling with a few additional embellishments here and there. So this year I've been using a lot of those Simple Story photo flips. I think I've been using them more because I have not been doing layouts, although I've been doing a lot of inserts. So my Project Life album, just about every like 2-page spread, you know, like between the 2 weeks, because I just do each of my weeks is obviously one 12x12 spread. So in between the 2 weeks that would sit next to each other in the album, there's pretty much always inserts that I'm adding in there, which I think is really fun. And it's not like I haven't always done that. I've always added inserts, but I don't know. I just love the look of all the different size pocket pages together this year instead of like the really big 12x12 layouts, excuse me. So I've been really into that this year. So we will be adding a couple more inserts, and I thought that it would be fun to take you guys along with me in my next video. So that's what we will be working on together, to add in a few other pictures that didn't quite make it onto this spread. But I have been using a lot of those Simple Story photo flips to just add in all of the photos. So this week's no different. I have 2 flips here, and they just work out great. So here I was trying to add a little bit more of that alpha, and I was going to spell out Mickey down here at the bottom, but I don't know. I didn't like the way the alphas look, so I ended up just adding a few of these little, like that there had some very rough, roughly cut stars and hearts, but I added a few of those on there and just decided to go with that. So then I'm going to put in all of my journaling, of course. So I love these Celebrate cards. So this one I'm filling out all about Penny. So I did all the details of her birthday and all that kind of good stuff. So we're filling that in, popping that into place. And then the one at the bottom by the picture of Mickey, I'm going to talk about Mickey's party and completing the albums and all of that, which pretty much makes up my entire week. So I would love to know, do you guys ever do that for anyone else? Do you gift albums to anyone, or do you ever do that as a present? I don't a ton of times, but it's been a really like it's a labor of love. It's for sure a lot of work, but it's been really totally worth it to give Casey albums and to have her be able to enjoy them and like to have that be like a contribution towards her family that I love, that the girls will be able to look back on in years to come, and will be able to know that like I made those for them. I think that that's really special, and I know that Casey appreciates it so much, and so it's a really special thing that I'm able to do, and I love doing that. Besides that, I have made my mom a few albums, and I make her a calendar every year, and I think I'm going to take you guys along when I make her calendar this year in an upcoming video in a few weeks as well. But yeah, so I love to do that. It's a fun way to use your creativity as a gift. You know, I love getting a homemade gift. There's nothing better to me than if someone makes something for me. So I love being able to do that. So now pretty much everything is in place. At this point, I was looking at all of these kind of random tiny phrase sticker sheets that I have. The problem with those is that like there's only a few on each one of those sticker sheets, and most of them are super like the stickers that are left are the ones that you don't want to use. They're super like specific stickers. So it's kind of like hard to use them. So I end up not going for any of them. And I grab my tried and true Ellie Studio stickers here, the little colorful labels that have the phrases inside of them. So that worked out perfectly. Now, even these are getting a little tricky to use, but I found one that said love this, one that said a fun surprise, and then I was trying to figure out what in the world I was going to do for this bottom one, but I ended up finding one that said weekend, and so that worked good enough. Sometimes it's hard to find ones that like are in the color family that you want, but also have like a word that works for you. So I had to kind of play around with that a little bit, but I got those on there, and I'm pretty sure that's all that I add, although I could be wrong. But at this point, I have already taken my pictures for Instagram there. I always pause it and take a picture to share. And then I am popping everything into place, putting things back into the pockets. And also I have to put my little photo flips back in place. And I am going to adhere those photos back to back just so that they line up better. It was kind of annoying me. And then these are so easy. You just take the little adhesive strip off and pop it into place, and they are so helpful. I love these things, and I need to get some more because I'm out of the 4x6 size. I only have the 3x4 and then 4x4, which I really don't use that much. So I always have like a pretty decent stash of those. But anyway, I get all these into place, and then we will be done. So I love that I have this one completed. I hope that you enjoyed this quick and easy process video and getting to follow along with me working on my project life this week. If you did enjoy it, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And again, stay tuned for more fun project life videos. And I have all kinds of videos planned out for the rest of the month and beyond. So stay tuned. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, friends, and I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.